Hello and welcome to my Wolfenstein analysis and critique. This is the first one I've done and hopefully there's many more to come. But this is where I'll be talking about the game, giving my opinion on it, what I think the game does good and bad, if I would suggest it for you to pick up and try for yourself. And yeah, I think that is it. I do not have a rating system, and I hope that in the coming months, if I keep doing these, I will have a rating system. I want to have like a kind of unique rating system for mine, and I don't know if I'll do it in numbers or what, but I'll find out soon enough. But anyways, now I don't have much to talk about, so this game shouldn't be, or this video shouldn't be very long. But first off, let's talk about the plot. Now, Wolfenstein The Old Blood is a first-person shooter which is developed by MachineGames and published by Bethesda. It's a standalone game in the Wolfenstein series, and it's a prequel to the previous one, which was the New Order. And the game does keep a lot of elements from the first one, the New Order, which is good because a lot of people like that game. Me personally, I didn't enjoy it at the start, but after having a few goes at it, I did actually end up liking it for what it does. But anyways, you play as William B.J. Blazkowicz in an alternative history where the Germans have taken over control. And in this alternative history, Blazkowicz attempts to discover the locations of the Nazi compounds and take them down, essentially. And the game is alright, so it is. It's not the best game, it's not the worst. So it's definitely not the worst. The only problem with it is the plot is very difficult to follow sometimes. It's a wee bit muddled, and I don't know, the story for it is not very good, I don't think. That's probably one thing that it suffers from. But this game is almost identical to the prequel, the New Order, and the only difference that I can kind of see is there's less perks to go for. There's a few new weapons. Some enemies are different, such as the elites. They're usually on rails now, so you are them big enemies that I just killed, or you just seen. And Nazi zombies is another one. And to be honest with you, if I did have a point system, I'd take a point off alone for that, because I think that it's an extremely exhausted and overused idea. I think that the impact of Nazi zombies has just lost its touch over the years, probably due to COD bringing it in for so many years. And not only that, there are many other games just bringing in this Nazi zombie thing. It's just lost its touch. But The Old Blood keeps a lot of the elements from the prequel, such as combat and stealth. There are some instances in this game where there's great firefights, some excellent map design. I will give it that. There's some excellent map design, and this is why stealth is very important in this game. If you know the map design, you know enemy placements, this game will be very easy for you, no matter what difficulty you're on, even though the difficulty isn't too hard, and I'll get into that later on. But the map usually allows for you to do a stealthy, more alternative, less aggressive route, and taking out commanders, it will cripple any resistance. So if you take out the commanders first, even if you don't want to go stealthy, then there's usually only a few enemies to kill. So their prime subject, or your prime target, is usually the commanders. Now, some of the things in this game which I find to be the most powerful things: the sniper, for one, it usually kills most things in one shot. Same with throwing knives, your silence pistol, and also forcing checkpoints. Because if you can force a checkpoint to come before you've killed most of the enemies in the place, you can probably reload the checkpoint, and then there'll be no enemies in the place. It's strange, but like, what I mean by forcing checkpoints is getting to a new area quick, getting that checkpoint, and there's no enemies then. It's very strong, so it is, and it will help you on the stronger difficulties if you are having trouble. Sometimes running to the next checkpoint can be the best thing you can do. But the knives and the pistols, so they allow you to take out multiple enemies, decreasing a number of hostiles that you will encounter, and it allows you to take out a lot, like basically an army, before the army realizes that they've been took out. So this is why I feel that they're very good. The knife is a one shot, one kill in any body part to a less armored enemy. If they're too armored, like the heavies with the what do you call it, the gas thing on their back, it won't kill them, and it won't kill the big elite ones that are on reels. That's probably the only two that it won't kill, but other than that, it's very good. So yeah, they're probably the silenced pistol and the knives are probably the two most used weapons that you will use in the entire game. But the stealth in this game, I feel that is really, really well done. As the AI is not that intelligent, which is debatable, you know, sometimes see, sometimes they don't, but if anyone sees you, everybody knows where you are. That's an old school mentality game, where in the old school games, if you were seen by an enemy, every fucking bastard in the whole area would know exactly where you are, what position you were in. So it's a good and a bad thing that there. It'll be good for people who like that old school experience. I like an old school experience because I feel that they're harder. I just wish that this difficulty was harder, or this game was harder. But yeah, the AI, that's what I wanted to touch on. They have a scripted paths, so it allows you to learn the path and know when it's safe to move and take out certain enemies. Now, knowing this here is something that either you like or you don't like. Sometimes people like knowing, you know, to get that correct path. I'm one of them people who like to find out a correct path that'll get me through the game the most stealthiest way, and if a game can do that for me, it's usually won me over. So it has. But if you don't like learning scripted paths, or you don't like them, then this game might be the one for you. But forcing checkpoints is also very powerful, because it allows you to skip some areas completely if you understand what you're doing. Some areas in this game you can just completely skip enemies by going and getting a checkpoint, so you can. And what else does this game have that I want to touch on? Oh yes, the game has this certain thing which they done in the New Order as well, and they're called nightmare levels. Now the nightmare levels are there's about 8 or 9 of them I think in this one, and it's a bed, and they're in different areas, different chapters, where there's the single bed. You go up, you sleep, and you go into this kind of dream mode where you get to experience some of the, I think it's Wolfenstein 3D, I think that's what it is. Get to experience one of them really old Wolfenstein games, which at the very start it's very good. I will admit, when you first find it, you probably, if you've played the New Order first, you've obviously played it, and it's very cool. So it's nice that they brought that back. I think it gives, you know, newer players to some of these new Wolfensteins a chance to experience what it was like before, and I think it does that good. The only problem though in this one is there's 8 or 9 levels, and you have to do them all to get the trophies. Now if you're an achievement hunter or a trophy hunter like I am, it just becomes a bore. I don't mind doing 1, maybe 2 or 3, but 8 or 9 of them, it gets really repetitive and boring. So it does. They're okay for a while, but other than that, I really dislike them. I kind of wish that they'd just done 1 or 2 of them, maybe 3, and just left it like that. But yeah, the thing about this game is it doesn't have many flaws. So it doesn't, like, the combat is not bad. It's the exact same. It feels the exact same as the New Order. Maybe it's touched up a bit, because the New Order combat at the start was very clunky for me, and I didn't like it. But the Old Blood, I feel that it does a better job at combat, or it's just polished it a bit, because I know that it's very similar to the old one, but it just does it a wee bit differently, or it's polished. There's something about it that I don't mind, so I don't. To be honest with you, I think I would suggest it. If you're interested in these type of games, or you like the stealth experience, yeah, go for it. You know, have a try of it, because this game's been out a year now, yeah, and the New Order's been out 2 years, so you may as well go back, pick them both up. I would say you might be able to get them for both like less than a tenner or £10. So you might, if you know where to look, obviously. But it's not that bad of a game. Now this game, it gives you about, I'd say about 8 to 9 hours. I'd like to say about 8 to 9 hours of gameplay, and that's if you're going for the trophies and doing all the challenges. If you're doing all that there, I would say about 9 hours. So it would. And if you want to go back and try other levels, that's great, because it gives you that option to try it. You can go for speed runs in this game, you know. It gives you a lot of variety, which I do quite like. I think that's kind of all I've got to say in this game. There wasn't much to critique. I know that the longer I do this, if I keep doing it, I'll get better at it. But I just wanted to point out some of the things I thought the game does good, what it does bad. And I think that's it, really. Yeah, I'd say that's probably it. So, thank you very much for watching. Leave some feedback in the comment section below. I would love to hear some of your opinions about the game, what you think of the game. Do you know, what I like you might not like, and I think that's a cool idea that, you know, my opinion's different to yours and we can find out what each other like. But anyways, thank you very much for watching.